Some people worry their kids might grow up to make bad choices. Others discover their kids grew up just fine, and it was their spouse who needed supervision. Today on Our Space, this is one of those stories. Wife's affair exposed my adult daughter. She had to deal with the consequences from both of us. One of my biggest fears before I chose to have kids was whether they would turn out to be good kids. You see, people do their best as parents, but the kids still end up doing whatever they want. The idea of that has always been a big source of anxiety. I have 2 kids, and when they were growing up, I did my best to raise them well, along with my wife. I have 1 girl and 1 boy, and both are now adults. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm so happy for the children that I've raised. They have the right moral compasses, and it makes me happier than anything could. I'll get into why I'm saying all this, but I just had to get that part off my chest. Being a parent can be so rewarding when you do it right. I'm 51 and I have been married to Shirley, who is 50, for 25 years. To keep her anonymous, I'll say that my daughter's name is Anna. She's 24. My son is in college in a faraway state, but Anna has finished up with that and she came back to our state after concluding her studies. She comes to see us every now and then, but not too often. I'm always happy to see her. She's a happy person and we've always had a really good relationship. Even in her teenage years when her relationship with her mother was pretty strained. They used to fight all the time back then, and I'm glad it happens a lot less. I know my daughter really well, and the second to the last time that she came to our house, I noticed that her mood was really strange. She was acting snippy towards Shirley, and it was reminding me of back then. I would have just assumed she was in a bad mood, but the thing was that she seemed to be normal towards me. They had a fight before Anna left, and I had to be the one to calm them down and separate them. I walked Anna to her car, and I was surprised when she hugged me and started crying. I asked if something was happening in her life that she didn't have anyone to talk to about with, but she said it had nothing to do with her. She told me that she was really sorry, and I assumed that she was somehow talking about Shirley. So my response was that she wasn't always that combative, and it wasn't a big deal. She didn't say anything else, so I couldn't figure out what was going on at that point. I only told Anna that she could talk to me if anything was going on, and she let me know that she would. I remember being very worried about her, and I expressed it to Shirley. After the fight, Shirley didn't care. She called Anna a brat and said she didn't care what she was going through if she felt her mother was the person to take it out on. It really did remind me of those teenage years. I always had to play the peacemaker. Trust me when I say I don't miss those times. It was very hard on my head to have to be diplomatic, fix things, but not take sides. I think it wasn't even up to a week when Anna came back again, which was a lot sooner than usual. I thought that she might have wanted to talk about something she was going through, but she never tried to speak to me in private. I noticed that she still had an attitude towards Shirley, and having known my daughter from the moment she was born, I knew that she had clenched her fist when trying to hold back her emotions when talking to someone. I saw that she was doing when talking to her mother. If I had gotten the chance, I would have told her to let us go and speak, but things blew up before then. Shirley made an insensitive remark about how Anna was single. Her last relationship was perfect, but they broke up because of distance, and I know she's still very sensitive about it. That was the trigger. And Anna basically let out everything she had been holding up until that point. I was surprised that it had to do with me and Shirley and not anything about her. I'd rather be single than fake that I'm in love with my husband like you do. I was so shocked when she said that because it seemed like an attack. My first instinct was to react and tell her not to say things like that. But then, when I really thought about it, I knew there had to be something that I didn't know. Shirley was as confused as me about the whole thing, probably because she believed there was no way Anna could have known what she was up to. Anna was so mad, I could see her getting angrier as she stood there, and tears were falling down her face. That was when she let it out that a friend of hers from high school had seen Shirley and another man at a beach. I didn't believe it at first. I kept looking back and forth between Anna and Shirley, trying to understand what was going on. The first point when I realized that there was a problem was when I saw Shirley's face go pale when Anna said that. I asked what was going on because I was so confused, and Anna started to explain, but Shirley got up and started screaming over her. You good-for-nothing child! You've always hated me, and I've only ever done my best for you. Now you're making up lies? And she just kept going on and on in the same vein. It was hard to watch, and it looked like things were going to get physical. I had to step in between them and try to tell them to calm down, but they weren't listening to me. It was really tough. Anna was also shouting, daring her mom to deny it outright, but I don't think the two of them were actually listening to what the other was saying. I had to actually physically pull them apart from one another because it really did seem like a step or a punch was going to be thrown any second. I had to walk Anna out of the house, but Shirley followed me and kept yelling at her. The scene she was causing wasn't even my biggest concern. Eventually, I was able to get Anna out of the house and into her car, and I told her to drive off right away, which she did. I asked Shirley what our daughter had been talking about when I got back into the house, but she claimed that she was a liar. She said that Anna had always taken her moods and depressions on her, and it wasn't a new thing. She said she had been mentioning it to me for years, and I always stood around like doing nothing about it because Anna was my favorite. I told her that I loved Anna and I didn't have any favorites, which was the way it was meant to be. She only responded by saying that it was up to me to believe who I wanted, but she had never gone to the beach with anybody. I realized that I wasn't going to be able to believe what my wife had to tell me. It's not that I thought she was a liar, but in everything that has to do with Anna, it's like she turns it into a completely different person. She acts like she's not a 50-year-old woman and starts acting like a teenager. It's baffling behavior. The next day was a weekday, so I arranged to meet Anna somewhere after work so that we'd be able to talk about things. When that time came, she apologized to me for behaving like that, which is more reason why I really feel like I won with my children, especially my daughter. Most people wouldn't feel the need to say sorry for their behavior. She used to have friends over a whole lot when she was younger, and her mom used to pick her up from school most of the time, so Shirley was a known face among her friends. Even though it had been a few years since most of them had seen Shirley, it's not like they wouldn't recognize her if they saw her. What happened was that one of her friends saw Shirley at the beach a few cities over. She didn't interact because she saw her with another man, and they were clearly romantic. They were touching a lot and applying sunscreen to each other. Her friends knew me too, so they knew the man was someone else. Her friend was smart enough to know that she couldn't say hi to Shirley under those conditions, but she took pictures. Anna told me that she wanted to show me the pictures, but when things got messy, she didn't get the chance to, and I understood. The person had a really good phone because I could see that it was clearly Shirley under a parasol with a man I didn't know. One of the pictures had them touching each other. Even Shirley wouldn't deny that it was her in the photo, and since she had already claimed she never went to a beach, I knew she was lying. It occurred to me in the middle of the conversation that Anna had been holding on to this information. She admitted that she had, and again, she said she was sorry. I let her know that it was okay. It made sense why there had been something on her mind. She was fighting the urge to talk about it. She said she was angry with her mom for doing that, but she didn't want to destroy our marriage, and that's why she kept holding back. I made sure that she knew she did the right thing. I raised my kids to always do the right thing, as hard as it might be. I get why she struggled, and it is fine, because she told me in the end, if you've been married for 25 years, I promise that an extra week or two with a cheating partner isn't going to kill you. I made her send the pictures to me, and I hugged her after it. I'm so happy that she had a moral compass to make sure she made the right decision. Even though I've been married to Shirley for this long, it doesn't mean that cheating is the kind of thing I'm going to let slide. Never. I have a pal who is a divorce lawyer, and right after leaving, I met up with him and told him the entire situation. The sad thing is, he told me that she's probably going to hit me hard when it comes to alimony, and there's not much I'll be able to do to stop it. I'm not going to let material things force me to stay in a bad marriage. I paid for her services, and once that was done, I headed home. I knew I was going to confront her right away. I felt so mad, not just with the way she had lied to my face, but how she tried to paint our daughter as a liar to cover her tracks. It was very slimy behavior for her to exhibit. When I got home, she was back from her work already, and she asked me where I had been, since I was about 2 hours late. I had made 2 stops after work after all. I told her that I went to talk with Anna, and her face changed right away. I laid all of it out to her, so she knew that I knew. Her first instinct was to deny it, which I understood, especially since she had already done some denying earlier. She had to go all in. I showed her the pictures, and I could tell she was looking for an angle to take, but she ended up saying it wasn't her. I knew that she was lying, because if someone claimed they saw a picture of me in front of the Eiffel Tower, you'd be able to see the confusion on my face the moment I looked at the photo. That's not what happened to her, so I knew it wasn't a doppelganger situation. She maintained that it wasn't her, but it didn't matter to me. I told her that we were going to get a divorce because I didn't believe her. She said I was overreacting. She said it wasn't her. She asked if I was going to believe Anna over her, and she just kept trying to save herself, but I wasn't going to change my stance at that point. She was served with the divorce papers at work, which she didn't like, and she let me know all about it when she got back home. I knew that there wasn't going to be any chance of getting her out before the courts decide, so we've both been at home since that point. It's tough, but we bought the house that year we got married, and I'm going to fight for it. Is it just me? If someone shows you a picture of someone who really looks like you doing something that you don't do, wouldn't your first approach be to express surprise at how much some random person looks like you? She didn't do that once. Plus, her excuses have bounced all around. The divorce will happen, And even though I know the length of our marriage means that the chances I come out on top are pretty much impossible, I'll still cross my fingers. I've always been an optimist, so I'll keep my optimism going in this situation too. Update 1. This is an update to my last post, and before I get into the details, I think I have to mention that Shirley, my now ex-wife, went to Anna's home to confront her. I knew nothing about it, and by the time that I did, it had already concluded. This was before the divorce process had started. As soon as Anna opened the door, Shirley barged inside, and they started to have a shouting match. My daughter said she was so frightened because she'd never seen her mom as mad as that, and the fact that it was just the two of them made it worse. Apparently, Shirley called her several names that a mother should never call a daughter, including witch and whore. It seems that Shirley admitted to the affair, not outright, but it was somewhere in the shouting match that she asked Anna what the big deal was if she had an affair. She asked her if she knew any of the background before she chose to get herself involved in our marriage. She left when Anna started to call the police, and I'm glad no one got hurt, but it really made me mad to hear how she behaved, and I let Shirley know as soon as she got home. I was beyond disappointed, because at that point, she wasn't even acting like Anna was her child. It was very hard for me to understand. She didn't have much to say when I confronted her about all that, so I didn't bother talking about it anymore. When it was time for the divorce proceedings to start, I knew from the start that there was no chance on us agreeing on things. I didn't want the whole headache of a long divorce, but she wanted to milk me for everything, so we had to go to court. I'll skip the boring parts, but in the end, I got the house, probably because of my insistence. I don't just want it because of all the memories and how much money I put into it, but because I want to leave it to my kids, and with how Shirley is around Anna, I can't trust her to do the same. Unfortunately for me, since we've been married for so long, it looks like I might end up paying Shirley alimony for the rest of my life, which is a notion that makes me want to lose my mind. She works and makes a very good living, but because I earn a lot more than her, I suddenly have to start sending her money for the rest of her life, even at a point when I want nothing to do with her. It's bonkers. She could be dating another man and still be getting alimony for me. This might be the first time a person hopes their horrible ex gets happily remarried, because that will free me from my alimony obligation. She's getting a big payout relinquishing her share in the house, plus a split of our savings. She got to cheat on me and still get a big payday. What is there for her to complain about if things are going to end that well? It's probably why I never saw her cry once through the whole thing. I couldn't even get her to tell me why she did it, because she still maintains that it wasn't her, probably because it helps her be the victim. It's incredible to me. I'm going to move on with my life because it is the only choice I have. It hurts, but there's really no point in me crying and being all sad about it. Everything goes on. I got 25 years of what I thought was a good marriage, and maybe my ignorance back then is what makes it worth it. Update 2. Here's another update to the story of my ex-wife Shirley. I really didn't think I was going to have anything else to say on this matter, but you can't predict the way things can go. Anne and I have cut her off entirely. Her alimony checks come in as they're meant to, but besides that, I have no contact with her at all. I didn't tell Anna to cut her off, but she chose to on her own. Of course, my son heard about the situation and he doesn't want to pick sides, which I'm happy about. It might sound weird, but I don't want my children to hate their mother simply because of me. If they do, it needs to be for their own reasons, not out of loyalty to me. I think the thing was that Shirley started getting lonely, which isn't surprising when two people who used to talk to you almost daily disappear. She reached out to me and said that she wanted to know if we could have a chat. I saw the text and I left them on read, but she called, and when I answered, she said the same thing. I told her no. Anna called me a few days later saying that Shirley had contacted her telling her that she wanted to make peace. She said no too, which I was glad about. About a week later, she sent me a picture telling me that she had gotten a tattoo. Before that, she had none. It looked like someone going through a midlife crisis. I didn't send a response. A day after, she asked again if I wanted to meet up. I told her no. About 2 nights later, I got a very long, poorly typed message from her talking about how sorry she was. She admitted to the affair in the text, but she said it meant nothing. She claimed she was so lonely being by herself and that she missed me. She wanted to tell me about the things happening in her life, but I didn't want to listen, and that was breaking her. She tried to mend her relationship with Anna, but she also didn't want to talk to her, and she acknowledged she had really messed up when she went to Anna's house. She said she felt like she was losing her mind. I never responded to that message. There was nothing I wanted to say to it, to be honest. I screenshotted it because of her admission of guilt, but besides that, I needed her to deal with what her action had brought her. I did the right thing as a husband, and even as a father, but I can't say the same for her. Your daughter wasn't acting out. She was carrying a secret that never should have been hers to hold, trying to protect you from the fallout of her mother's choices. Meanwhile, Shirley's response was to scream, deflect, and call her own child names that no parent ever gets to come back from. That alone says everything about who actually has a moral compass here. Then there's the tattoo, the late night texts, the "I miss you" confession to her. It all reads less like remorse and more like panic that consequences finally showed up and didn't leave. What really matters is this: you didn't lose your family, she did. What would you have done in this situation? Let us know in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on Our Space. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you soon.